The ringing of the bells begins our Sunday gathering. Welcome to First Parish in Portland, a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations, where our mission is to nurture the spirit, grow in community, and help heal the world. Yes. And you know who I am, some of you don't. I am Reverend Elaine Paraslua, and I am the interim minister of First Parish as you search for a new settled minister. Hopefully news will be coming soon about that. If you are visiting with us online, virtually, thank you for being here, and thank you for joining our Sunday gathering, and we hope you'll find something of meaning here. And Lynn Beasley, if you're not in the shower and you're out there, we miss you. Hope your hip is healing well. And get a chalice or a candle to light so you can be with us in spirit. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, whoever you love, whatever your gender identity, whatever your history with faith traditions, we try to create a place for you here on Sunday morning so that this hour brings meaning, comfort, purpose to your life. So thank you for being here. Our membership coordinator, back there somewhere, there she is Lori Hasty. And she will tell you more about our congregation if you're visiting or here for the first or second time. You can talk to her about our programming, what it means to be a member, any questions that you have, or me, following the service. And next Sunday, is there a visitor coffee hour, Lori? Yes. First Sunday, you can have a longer conversation with her and with me. During every Sunday gathering, we acknowledge that this building was built on the site of land that was owned by the Wabanaki Federation, and that First Parish participated in some of the historic colonial actions, like scalping, to find funds, build the church, steal the land from the Wabanaki. And we acknowledge that we acknowledge it every week, but not in the way to feel bad, guilty, whatever, but to acknowledge historic truths about our nation's founding and our participation in that. And that those wrongs have to be corrected. There has to be actions, direct actions, to make up for land that was stolen, lives that were lost, values, freedoms that were lost. So we work hard to rebuild those relationships and to seek out what is necessary to repair the relationships. We also have started doing a labor acknowledgement, which acknowledges that much of the economic success of Portland was built on oppressive relationships with labor, especially with people of color, and the history of enslavement that brought economic prosperity to Portland. And that we want to correct those wrongs as well and do whatever we can to make equity and justice for all the people of Maine so that we can all live with a strong sense of belonging, connection, and freedom. Announcements, I think. Well, first, I would like to acknowledge that our flowers, the beautiful colors there today, were donated by the governing board president, Taryn Friedman. And Taryn, would you like to say anything about the meaning of those flowers? She was ready.
They're gifts for everyone to enjoy, and spring is upon us, and they're very springy, and they match my hair, which is great. So there it is.
You too can contribute flowers any week that you would like. Also, I think we have Betsy, do you have an announcement?
Hi, I just want to remind everybody about the common read for this year, Mistakes and Miracles. We're coming down to the time when I'm going to be sending in the order, the group order. You can get it through the church by signing up and paying for it ahead of time, which is $25. And I will be out in the parish hall for you to come out when we come out to have coffee if you want to look at the books, if you want to talk to me about the whole idea of the Common Read, or if you want to sign up and actually get a copy. The last day to sign up and pay will be next Sunday. And there are discussions planned about the book. Traditionally, that's what happens, is later after, a few months later after the read is that it's discussed. And there are guidelines from the UUA for these discussions. And we are joining together with Allen Avenue and Brunswick congregations and having discussions on May 14th at noon and May 28th at noon. They'll be on Zoom, but also you're able to go to discuss in person if you would like at Allen Avenue. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Betsy. I see Linda chomping at the bit. Go ahead, Linda.
Yes, I'll try and make this quick. I'm Linda Sherry, trustee, First Parish member for over 20 years. Hi. So in the bulletin, we had some announcements about a Safe Congregation meeting. It's canceled, unfortunately. Our consultant is ill, been going around. But this important conversation we need to have about what input from everyone on what security and safe congregation will look like still needs to be done, and you can meet me out in the parish hall during coffee hour if you have some ideas around that. And please keep looking, because there is a in-person training on readiness and being able to respond to security and safe issues in the church. That'll be posted in the bulletin, and if you want to participate in that training with the staff, you are welcome to do so. Alrighty, thanks. Stay safe, everyone.
And I think, Leslie, first I want to thank the stewardship team for hosting or for ushering today. Thank you very much. And take the floor, Leslie.
Okay, I'm Leslie. I'm the co-chair of the First Parish Stewardship Team. I imagine that most of you know that by now. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the coffee house that stewardship jointly held with music people on Friday. It was absolutely amazing. And I want thank you so much for the musicians and the singers that were there, and for the people that came and just gave that parish hall, I think its first real event since it's been renovated.
Standing room only.
It was amazing. And Phil and Tom had, how many chair runs did you make? I mean, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. There were 60 plus people in there, which maybe doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, it was people crammed in, and the music was unbelievable, and just the positive energy and the fellowship and the sense of community that was created it was beautiful to behold. So thank you to everyone that took part in that. So next week, I'm going to do this quickly. There's 2 more community events. One is Jen Caswell, my co-chair, stewardship co-chair, and Susan Payne are going to be leading a Portland Freedom Trail walk on Saturday at 10 a.m. You meet in front of the ferry terminal down at the Franklin Arterial and Commercial. And if you don't know, there's more information about the Freedom Trail. First Parish is one of the stops on it, out at our stewardship table, and Jen can tell you more about it. There's also more information in the e-news that came out last Friday, and it will be in this Friday as well. So you can sign up for that. And then our own Sheila Sullivan is going to be leading a chair yoga and meditation class on Sunday before service from, 8:30? 8:30 to 9:30 downstairs in the community room, so we can all get grounded and be ready to come into service in a peaceful, welcoming mood, like we usually are. But so that's going on as well. So please, please, please come to the site. You can sign up or just show up for these events, because they should be, if it's anything like Friday, they'll be amazing. But we need you to go to them. So I also want to say, our food for fellowship gatherings this week are completely full. Woo! But we did add more. We did add a few more. So if you go out to the stewardship table during coffee hour, you can sign up you can see the dates and times for the new events. You can sign up for them. You can also sign up for them via the e-news. So if that's easier for you, it has the new information. And now, without further ado, we're going to have some speed testimonials from members new and old of First Parish. You guys, will you come on up? Okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm speaking first, so I'm not sure how the first person speaks, but I will speak anyway. I'm really, I am planning to increase my pledge this year because I know that First Parish is a really special place. I'm grateful for all of the leadership, both spiritual, musical, administrative, and all the community leaders, and also for the community that we have of people here. And I'm really looking forward to what's coming in our future and looking at really having a great deal of energy and vibrancy in our social justice work going forward. So that's why I'm here and doing this. So.
Hi, I'm Jen McAdoo. I've been coming to First Parish for almost 11 years, and when I first came to First Parish, I really wanted to be part of a congregation in the heart of the city, but that was connected to the community around it, and we certainly are. I'm always inspired by the work our Faith in Action teams do, whether it's the Wabanaki Ally Team, Climate Justice, Rallies for Justice, our work with immigrants. It inspires me and helps me to live out my faith and make the world a better place. But I also wanted to be part of a community that can hold me when I need it, like today, because yesterday I had to put my beloved cat down. So, but being part of the Ministerial Search Committee, I've had the great privilege of talking to a lot of ministers who are thinking about how to lead First Parish forward. But almost more importantly, I've had the honor of hearing from you about what you love about the community. And so you've inspired me to increase my pledge this year by 50%.
My name's Taryn Friedman. I've been coming to First Parish for about 5 years, and when I started coming here, I was at a pretty low point in my life and needing more of a spiritual lift in my life, and needing spirituality in general. I grew up Jewish, and I do love being Jewish, and I wasn't finding the kind of spiritual nourishment within that community, and I felt it here because of the things that we focus on, the variety of social issues, personal growth issues that are talked about at Sunday services and are talked about outside of Sunday services and in chalice groups, and I felt really accepted for all of the parts of who I am, yeah, I just the energy, the feeling of community here is really what I've been searching for and needing and wanting in my life for a long time. So, and it makes me really emotional, so I will just leave it at that. I'm really inspired to make a very significant financial commitment to First Parish, and increasing my pledge by, I don't actually know what the percentage is, but it's a lot. And
It's well over 20%, Taryn.
Yeah, something like that. I work at Trader Joe's. I don't make a lot of money, and I am blessed to be in a position where I can really make the commitment. I feel like I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and making the commitment to increase my pledge to $5,000 for this year. And previously I've been giving like $500. And so that's what I'm doing, and I hope to inspire other people to really put their resources to help build this community and keep it strong so that we can have more of an impact on our surrounding community. So that's what I have to say.
I'm Angus Ferguson. I was born again as a Unitarian Universalist here at First Parish in 2013. And part of my dream for First Parish Leslie kind of stole my thunder, but happened last Saturday night at the Coffee House. And it was wonderful to see this beautiful space used for more than just, sparsely isn't the right word, but not completely full Sunday services. There was a wonderful crowd, and the music and the energy was all about what I love about this place. The rest of my dream, you probably heard this before, has a lot to do with more social justice action at First Parish. We have a wonderful Wabanaki Ally team. We're regrowing our climate justice work, but there's a lot in our principles that we're not yet addressing. And so I plan this year to up my pledge in the belief that we're going to do more, we're going to do better. Can I borrow this for just a second? And that when you look at the back of the program, there might actually appear a social justice team that folks can get in touch with. I don't seem to find it here yet today. But I'm not quite tithing, but I'm definitely upping my pledge this year.
Good morning. My name is Bill Adams. Every Sunday, we hear our minister greet us with, "We are a warm and welcoming congregation in the heart of the city." We're a non-creedal faith community encouraging folks to explore in their own way and at their own pace. Sometimes, I think we hear those welcoming words so often, we forget how much they mean to us. For those of you who attended Music House Coffee on Friday, hearing about that again, we heard Dina and Bob bring those words to life in a song. Come up to the house. Doesn't matter what's wrong with you, we can fix it. Great show, by the way. For me, those words were a reminder that I still feel welcome here, even when I make you dance during announcements and insist that you sell raffle tickets. I always want this place to be here, to welcome others the same way it was for me. Yes, I am a sustainer. Yes, I increased my pledge this year so others can come up to the house.
I'm Molly Shen. I started coming to First Parish in January, and I was going to hold off making a pledge until the new minister was called. It's like, let's wait and see if I like this person. But this is such a warm and caring community. I have felt so seen and accepted and joined with that I signed the book, I've made a pledge. And the other thing I want to mention is I'm concerned about the shortfall for this year, so I also made a gift to help the gap for this operating budget. My dream is twofold: to see this amazing, warm, and welcoming congregation grow and flourish. And secondly, that we really do practice this interdependent web through our social justice work. The rally that I helped organize last Tuesday was really cool, and 10% of the people who were there were from here. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Rich Hooks Wayman, and my husband Aaron and I and our 6 children joined this congregation 5 years ago. We joined because we found it to be a loving, inclusive organization and one that really encouraged the exploration of faith and spirituality. So my dream for this congregation and why I give is really 3 things. One is I want to continue us to be a body of people that encourages faith formation and spirituality, however we define that, as deep and wide and mysterious as the divine is. I think that's what we're called to do. Number 2, I want us to be a radically inclusive organization and body of people that really accepts people. Because why? Because I want to be nurtured and loved, and I want all of you to feel nurtured and loved, and I want to create a sense of belonging for all of us as we go forward. And the third thing I want to do, my dream for this organization, is that we are in the heart of the city, and I think we have the potential to be a center for community change. We are about protest, we are about change, and we're about organizing. I want to cause good trouble with you, and I want to do it in a way that's joyful, and I think that we can do it together, and that's why I continue to pledge to this congregation. Thanks for letting me be here.
Hello, my name is Richard Burbank. My wife Samantha and I have been part of this congregation for approaching 10 years. It's been a wonderful It's been a wonderful time. We are so excited. We are so fired up. The pandemic has been, a little discombobulating, and we are in a wonderful interim ministry. Thank you, Reverend Elaine. But we are so excited about getting this pandemic behind us, having a new settled minister, and really getting some traction again. And we are increasing our pledge significantly this year. And that's partly because we find ourselves fortunate. It's not everyone that finds themselves a little bit more fortunate, but our business has been very successful. And it feels so good that we can turn some of our success into providing wages and benefits that meet the rising cost of living in our business. And we are making this pledge because we also realize that a big part of stewardship is the wages and benefits of the people that work in this church, the paid staff. And I've been a longtime member of the Personnel Committee, and that's the message we want to give out is to live our values, we do need to put our money where our mouth is. And if we are in the position, not all of us are, but if we are in the position, use your heart to guide you on the right investment. And Sammy and I are very excited to up our pledge, partly for that, partly to have a vote of confidence of a new interim ministry. So we are fired up, and I hope you are too.
Hello, my name is Carl Dillard, and we are very new members to this congregation. And I also feel fired up. I have to say, it was Julika's idea, my wife here, to come in here in December, and just immediately overwhelmed by the assortment of exciting things, which I love. The music, of course, and the interest in the social change, which I think is such an important topic, and the variety of ideas and vibrancy that we have throughout the many voices that are speaking in our church, stimulating every single one of the little gears in my head. I find it extremely stimulating to be here with all of you, and extremely warm as well. I can't believe it. And so we are in an unusual position where we're not pledging a whole lot, but since we didn't used to pledge anything, we have increased exponentially. But we are very excited about participating and talking and making this community as vibrant as we can, and very happy to do so.
Hello, my name is Julika. I'm from Mexico, from Veracruz, where the real Bamba is. And yeah, well, I'm here. In Mexico, we don't have that kind of a church, for sure. I mean, we're very religious. But here, I mean, for me, the more amazing is I have, that the opportunity to talk with a lot of people, a lot of diversity, which I love that because I believe in truth, but I believe in new truths. So that is one of the reasons. And the second reason is because I am immigrant and I believe in the integration. And for me, the integration is through the culture. So I'm here to show you who I am, probably my dance, although salsa or other things. And well, I'm learning a lot from Ben, who is the person that is teaching me how to sing. So I'm very happy to be here. Okay.
Thank you so much, everybody. Are you ready?
We're fired up!
And you should be too. Yay! Thank you.
I'm probably going to have to ask you to stay over a little bit, because we don't usually start our prelude at 10:30. So enjoy the prelude and settle your bodies and your minds for the rest of today's gathering. See what you're here to give or to receive this morning. Feel that from your heart. You, who have an eye for miracles, regard the bud appearing on the bare branch of fragile young trees. It is a mere dot, but already it is a flower, already a fruit, already its own death and resurrection. Keep your eyes out for miracles. That is how we grow faith. I'm going to do a little bit of difference with the chalice lighting this morning. This flame, this friend and most ancient of our ancestors, we're going to kindle now in this time. Yet in truth, it has always burned in the very unique worth of each person, in the imagination of every human being, and in each faithful heart. And normally we just say the covenant after this, but I really wanted you to feel the covenant this morning. So we're going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to say a line, and then you're going to say it back to me. Love is the doctrine of this church.
Love is the doctrine of this church.
The quest for truth is our sacrament.
The quest for truth is our sacrament.
And service is our prayer.
And service is our prayer.
This is our great covenant.
This is our great covenant.
To dwell together in peace.
To dwell together in peace.
To seek truth in love.
To seek truth in love.
And to help one another. To the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine.
To the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine.
Thank you. Now sit for just a moment before we rise to sing a hymn, and let those words fall over you. Stand, and we will sing as you are able. Stand as you are able, and then we will sing as you are able. Do when the Spirit says do. It's number 1024 in the teal hymnal.
And for those of you who are not musicians, this is formatted in a way that's a little bit different than our normal hymns. We actually have to flip pages. And there's this thing called the first ending. And when you hit the first ending, go back to the beginning. And we're going to do that first ending like 5 times. So we're going to sing, we're going to dance, and we're going to shout. And when we shout, we're going to shout. And so just hang on for the ride, and I encourage you to do whatever the Spirit says do to you.
And if you're really courageous, put down your hymnal.
You got
All right, and now a time for all ages, which so appropriately, I called it waiting. I didn't know you were going to have to wait so long this morning for a story. So, if you would like, come down and have a conversation with me. One. Two, do we have two? We got two? Three, let's go for three, go for three. Three, do I hear three? Three, four, five, okay. You can do it, you can do it. Do I have to reach up that far? There must be a hand up there. So thank you very much for waiting today. And I have been thinking a lot about waiting, because waiting is hard. And I've also been thinking about the best way to bring you up here, because sometimes I think that you get put on the spot, like if I hand you the microphone and you have to say something, and maybe you don't want everyone to hear it. So I've decided this new thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the microphone so everybody can hear what I say. But when you want to say something back to me, I'm going to, so that you don't have to talk to everybody, you can just talk to me. And that way, you can get comfortable with me and not with everybody else. How's that? And if you really want to speak into the microphone, you can, but I'll let you decide, okay? So, last week I took my granddaughter to gymnastics. And she goes to gymnastics and I wait while she does gymnastics. So I wait. 45 minutes, an hour. It's a lot of waiting. So I do things like walk on the treadmill, walk the dog, waiting. Waiting is hard. Do you wait for things? Are there things that you're waiting for right now? Christmas? Are you waiting for Christmas? Halloween. There was a little boy walking when I was walking, and he said to his mom, "Is it Halloween yet?" And she looked at him, she said, "No, we have a lot of holidays before Halloween. We have to go through Easter. We have to go through Memorial Day. We have to go through Father's Day and Mother's Day and the 4th of July. And then it's almost Halloween." And he just looked at her, like with these big sad eyes, like, okay. He was not ready to wait. So that's what made me think about talking to you about waiting today. So, are you waiting for something? Okay. How about you? You waiting? No? You're not waiting for anything? No. Wow, you are a spiritual guru. You really are. How about you? No? Oh, you? No? Yeah. He's just whacking your head. Okay. All right, so we have some very spiritually enlightened people here. Not all of them are waiting for something, like all of us are waiting for something. But I thought of something to help you practice waiting. And it's a way to distract your thoughts. So I'm going to say the word hot dog. And what do you think of when I say the word hot dog? Hot dog, right? Right? All right. And what do you think about when I say the word Christmas? Christmas, absolutely. So one of the things that's really important in learning to wait patiently is that you have to distract your mind, either by walking, some people knit, and other things. And one thing you can do is not think about the thing you're waiting. So I'm going to give you a test. I want you to think about hot dogs when I say Christmas and see if you can do it, all right? So, hot dog. No, I didn't say Christmas yet. All right, so now what are you going to think about? Okay, so hold that. Christmas. Well done. Was it hard? No? You guys, they should be teaching us because they obviously are much better minding their minds than I am. Very well done. So what I want you to think about is that waiting and learning to wait well, not be frustrated, impatient, angry, sad, unable to do anything. Those are all the bad ways of waiting. So we're going to help. Well, maybe you're going to help us. But one of the things about being part of a church is that you help each other with things like learning how to wait, to be patient, to, yes? Oh, Thank you. I get that. So, we are going to practice with you how to wait, and Cheryl is going to talk to you some more about waiting while she does some other fun things with you this morning. And now we're going to sing you off to Not Wait. Go ahead.
We will keep a place for you wherever you may go. We'll sustain this home of faith and love you've come to know. Go in peace, bring hope to hearts that yearn. We will keep a place for you till you return.
Proceed as way opens. That is a Quaker practice. And Quakers proceed as way opens by being patient, listening, using the silence of their meetings to open their hearts and their minds to what should happen next. Brent Bill is a Quaker, and he wrote a book called Sacred Compass. This is what he says about way opens. To proceed as way opens means to wait for guidance, to avoid hasty judgments or actions. To wait for way to open means to wait for guidance, to solve a problem thoughtfully. The spiritual guidance needed to make a decision may come in a time of seeking or entirely unexpectedly, all by itself, bringing a suggestion for a previously unforeseen action. Unlike our weir ones, most of us are waiting for something. So, in this meditation, I want you to think about, what am I waiting for? Summer? Planting? A trip? Stewardship to be over? Leslie's nodding. A visit from someone. Bank kerfuffles to stop. Inflation to end. The war in Ukraine to end. Something there is that you need that is not yet clear. Listen. Breathe with me. Feel where that uncertainty lives in you, or that waiting. Breathe and feel where the patience to wait lives in your body. Breathe into those spaces. Listen. Breathe. Be patient. Way always opens if you let it. So may it be. Amen. And blessed be. Now I'm going to invite you to sit still and quiet and sing 352, Find a Stillness. So I'm the kind of minister that, oh, it's 5 of 11. Do I have your permission to go to 11:15? Because I really, really would like to share the sermon with you. Yeah? Thank you. I appreciate that. And I also very much appreciate all the comments about stewardship. Next time, Leslie, tell me. And I'll make a shorter sermon. Okay. So, last week, usually I don't have much to do on my day off except for finish the laundry, do all the things that I don't have time to do any other time. But last week, I went skiing with a friend. And we went all the way to Sugarloaf, left here at 6 in the morning, and came all the way back, but I skied hard from 9:30 in the morning till 3:30 when I caught that last lift, went up, Taryn will appreciate that, zoomed up, and slipped down. I hadn't planned to ski that long. My friend stopped at 2, but said, "You look like you're ready for another run. Go ahead, I'll just go drink beer." I said, "Okay." So I went up, and I was going to do a nice blue slope, and come down easy and go drink beer. But I got to the top, and I looked at that double black diamond, which is my favorite run, narrow gauge, and I thought, narrow gauge is open, I'm doing it. And I sped down narrow gauge. I got down to the bottom, and I went, that was really good. I'm going again. So I went up, down, 2 more times. I was ready to stop then. Well, came home. I slept like a log Monday night. The best I've slept, like 9 hours. Closed eyes, didn't open them again for 9 hours. That's amazing for me. So I thought, I have time this morning to do my yoga. I don't usually have time at home to do my yoga. I leave my yoga things here upstairs, and I come to work, many of you see, in my yoga clothes, so I can do yoga when I get to the office where all my stuff is. Well, I thought, I don't need all my stuff. I'll just do I got my blocks, I'll just do a little stretching here. So I laid down on my blocks with my chest opening, and as I was laying there, I found myself saying the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the willingness to know and the wisdom to know the difference. So, and then I thought, oh my God, that would be a great sermon. I should do a sermon on serenity. I got up and I wrote my notes and I did all that, I thought of the hymns. I had the whole thing planned out. That one's coming. But what I realized is that I had not given myself both the joy of doing something I love to do and the time to do some yoga, all in the space of 48 hours. And that when I did that, it released this incredible creative impulse. Now, I had a conversation with several friends, women, by the way, and we all talked about the fact that we don't give ourselves the time to take care of ourselves. It's always somebody else. It's always something else. It's always something else comes first, rather than personal delight. What's that H word? Hedonism. A kind of personal hedonism to just enjoy, right? So I thought about this and why that is, and I thought there's another sermon coming in that one. But what I mostly wanted to talk about was the fact that yoga helps me with that. And there is a very important, it's the first asana you learn. Everyone thinks it's the easiest one, but it's really, when you get to know yoga, it's one of the most difficult. And I'm actually going to invite you to rise in body or spirit, and you're going to do this one. It's called Tadasana. And Tadasana is just to stand straight. It's to activate all of your muscles. It's not a passive pose, even though you think it's just standing still. But you feel your toes engaged with the earth. You distribute the weight evenly on your feet. You engage your muscles not tightly, but strongly. There's a difference between gripping and strength. So you feel your muscles engaged and active without gripping. You roll your shoulders back and let your arms drop to your sides, not stiffly, but engaged, pointing your fingers towards the earth, so that you feel this strength, tallness, support of your spine, your head floating on top of your spine, effortlessly, but strongly. Feel it? You can sit down now. So that is the essence of waiting. It is not a passive thing. So when Quakers say, proceed as way opens, it's not about sitting and doing nothing while you're waiting for something to happen. It's about that same active engagement that Tadasana is. There's a wonderful saying I learned in seminary called, don't just do something, sit there. And that's Tadasana, to stand straight and strong, to have yourself prepared, ready for what comes next without moving into it. I had a yoga instructor that did a whole class on Tadasana, and what she pointed out to all the students that some of us are leaning forward in our Tadasana, some of us are leaning back in our Tadasana, some of us are wobbling in our Tadasana. When you're leaning forward, she told us, that's you anticipating, getting ready, you're going to do the next thing before you even know what it is. You're already starting to stand on your head before we finish Tadasana. Or, you know we're going to do back bend, so you're leaning backwards, and you don't want to do a back bend, so your Tadasana is like this, resisting. Or, you don't like standing still, so you have to wobble. So, we all have to wait for something. And sometimes waiting patiently feels like inaction. It feels like we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. But the Quakers say, proceeding as way opens takes strength, patience, courage, self-love, confidence, and humility. I do not have the answer. I am listening for way to open. How often do we try to force our way through life? Force what we want to happen because we know, we're certain, this is what needs to happen, and I'm going to make it happen. How many of you were listening last week to the news about Erdogan in Turkey is going to build all those buildings back up in a year? Everything that was demolished by those earthquakes. I can do this in a year. And there's people saying, why would we do that? We don't know what the fault lines mean. We don't know what we did before that made everything fall down and hundreds of thousands of injuries and deaths. So why wouldn't we take our time? Why wouldn't we do some urban planning? What do we need? What do the villages need? Where would the water come from? No, we're going to do this in a year and we'll make sure there's a house and a roof over everybody. Well, that is a good intention. But the Quaker would say, proceed as way opens. Sit. Wait. Breathe. Talk. Listen. Think. Feel. Wait. Sometimes in our passion to reach a goal, to succeed, we act rashly, not giving quite enough thought to the consequences of our actions. Sometimes we need a quick decision, so we relieve that discomfort of waiting, of uncertainty, of not knowing. That is horrid for most of us. Anything is better than not knowing. Yes? We can fail to consult our conscience, our heart, others. Proceed as way opens is a reminder to go slow, to include others in your process, to see that taking no step is a step. Standing still, allowing awareness, adjustments, shifts, corrections, knowledge, information to support you in your decision-making. Proceeding as way opens is not about doing nothing, being inactive or disengaged. It's just the opposite. It's probably the most active, courageous thing we can do sometimes, to do nothing. Proceeding as way opens mean we wait and listen for the stop. Do you ever get one of those that you're about to do something and something inside of you says, don't do it. Do not do this. Way has closed. And you either go, yeah, and you keep going. What happens then? Or you say, oh, okay, I hear you. You stop. I've actually done that in a car and stopped and then had somebody run a red light and I'm going, oh, wow, thank you, angels, wherever that message came from, thank you. So, think back a minute. Have you had those stop moments? What did you do? Did you listen? Did you go ahead? Was it okay? What about moments where you were uncertain, but you just decided this is what's got to happen? How did that work out? Sometimes it works, sometimes not. In May, Mulyan Dana, ambassador of the Penobscot Nation, is going to come here to First Parish. We are going to have our first viewing of the documentary Bounty. Bounty is part of the Downland film series, and it reveals all the hidden stories of the Phipps Proclamation, which was the one of many scalp bounty proclamations used to find and exterminate Native people in order to take their land in New England. First Parish was part of that. So our persistent commitment to that land acknowledgement, to owning our history, to resisting immediately taking down the plaques or putting up a new plaque, we've been patiently waiting for way to open. I believe that the purchasing of this film, Ambassador Dana's delight in coming to show it here with her family, to be part of a conversation, is way opening for First Parish. It is an opportunity for us to be in relationship with the Wabanaki, to be able to directly talk to them about our history, to watch a film that they have created about that history together. So I invite you, is Merritt here? Is it May 6th? Is it May 6th or 5th? Yeah. May 6th. So May 6th, put it on your calendars, be here for the viewing of that film and to witness that conversation. I think way is opening for us to have a direct conversation, for us to ask, what can First Parish do to reconcile that history? What is it that you would ask of us? And to listen to what is said. Not to listen with an idea of what we should already do, but to be open to the ask. We have no idea what they will ask of us. I would like to be prepared that if they ask for an apology, that you would give me permission on behalf of this church and this historic institution to say, in behalf of First Parish in Portland, I apologize. Public apology. Do not give me an answer right now. I've warned Sharon that I was going to make a big ask this morning. But I would like each of you to think about that land acknowledgement. I would like you to think about our history, about the red carpets. And I would like you to feel way open for us to move forward as an institution, as a pillar of Portland history. What we do matters. What we model for this city matters. So think about it. I will ask the governing board at our next meeting for that permission. And if it's if that way opens and that feels in that room on May 6th like what needs to happen, I want to be able to do that. But I will not do that on my own. I represent you. You have to own this. This building, our history, needs to own that. And it has to come from our hearts, from our intentions, from our belief in possibility for the world to be transformed. That's what it means to proceed as Way opens. So as First Parish moves through the next few months, discerning your future, establishing your financial stability for that future, reflecting on your values, the covenant, your mission, proceed as Way opens. Trust that even when that way is unclear, it is being shaped, it is being formed, it is being envisioned. And it will become clear to you when it is time. Providing you listen, you love, you trust, you are strong and straight in your believing, in your waiting, and it is not passive, but it is active engagement as your covenant instructs you, as your mission professes. Proceed as Way opens. Find that peace, P-E-A-C-E, and the other, peace. Find your confidence, your life, your blessings as a community, not only for yourselves, but for this city that swirls around you. May it be so. Amen. And blessed be. Breathe, and when you are ready, rise in body or spirit, and we will sing Voice Still and Small. It's number 391.
Singing
Now receive the offering. This gesture, each week, is an active pursuit of the future of this church. When you engage financially, you support all of the programming, as you heard. I invite you to be generous and humble and loving in your giving. All your gifts are appreciated and put to good use. Thank you. Thank you. The closing words today, I'm going to do a little bit differently as well. It's a responsive reading, and it's number 728 in your gray hymnal, so please open, and I will start, and you will respond. This was written by John Burens, and some of you might remember he was president of our denomination, and he was also the minister in, I think he was in Manhattan at All Souls. Blessed are those who yearn for deepening more than escape, who are not afraid to grow in spirit. Blessed are those who bring their children, who invite their friends to come along to join in fellowship, service, learning, and growth. Blessed are those who know that the church is often imperfect. Yet rather than harbor feelings of anger or disappointment, bring their concerns and needs to the attention of the church leaders. Blessed are those who speak their minds in meetings, who can take and give criticism, who keep alive their sense of humor. Altogether, blessed are they indeed. Thank you all. And we will join together in the unison benediction and extinguishing of the chalice. Go, Taryn. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Those of you who may be joining us at home and who have managed to sit along with us for the whole service, I invite you to sing along with us. It's not in your order of service, but I'm sure that many, many, many of you will know this song.
Sing a song, sing out loud, sing out strong, sing out good things, not bad, sing out happy, not sad. Sing a song, make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing a song. Sing a song, let the world sing along. Sing of love that could be. Sing for you and for me. Sing a song, make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing a song, sing a song, sing a song.
Now, greet someone you know, greet someone you don't know, start a conversation that you can continue in coffee hour.
Can you say it with me?